Okay, now what we want to do is we want to open the OBJ that we had stored previously, so we'll click on the file icon here and we'll open ibolt only car.obj. That's a left click to highlight it and a left click here to open it. Our statistics once again, left click on OK, then go to texture up here and clear to get rid of this texture which has attached itself. And now we have our ibolt object, which was straightened out in Carrara, and we're going to right click on that and select by group, which is ibolt. Now that we have the whole thing selected, we're going to go up here to the cylindrical mapping icon, left click on that, and we're going to choose these options that we want for our bolt and click OK. And here is the bolt opened up in the viewport. And I noticed right away that we're going to need to move these 3 polygons here. So I'm going to press the enter key on the keyboard to deselect everything. And then I'm going to draw a marquee using the rectangular marquee tool here and see if I can get these 3 selected. And I will use the keyboard arrow keys to move them to the right. I'm going to zero in with the scroll button and hold down the space bar and the left mouse button so I can move it around with the hand. Again, scrolling with the scroll bar on the mouse, and then hold down the space bar and use the left mouse button. And then to move the polygons again, I use the left keyboard button and line them right up there and then hit enter. And now our seam should be continuous. Once again, the space bar and the left mouse button. And I'm going to go to texture, checker, and color and turn that on and see what it tells us. Sorry about that. It tells us that the texture isn't right. It is squashed in this direction, which means we have to select this texture and make it skinnier in this window here. So I am going to take the rectangular marquee tool and I'm going to try not to include the end caps in this. And I think I did great. Now I'm just going to take this and move it down till you see these squares. Well, they have to be square like these squares are. When these squares are square and these squares are square, we've got a good size on the UV map. It's not squashed or stretched in either direction. And this looks great here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the enter key on the keyboard and set that. Now we have to try to match the end caps, and it does look, if you look at them, like we've got a fairly decent match on the size, but these have to be and I'm gonna highlight that one with a marquee, and then I'm going to move it up with the keyboard arrows and put them together. I'm going to use the scroll wheel on the mouse and the left mouse button and space bar on the keyboard. Now back to the keyboard arrows to move the selection around again to get it where it's over the other selection. And when it is, I'm going to hit the key, the enter key, and then I'm going to grab both of those and pull one side until it's round again. Notice that the squares are square in the perspective window. That tells us that everything's hunky-dory. Hit the enter key on the keyboard again. Check it out. Squares are square and looking good. So what I am going to do is I'm going to move those over and join the other piece with the keyboard arrows. There we go. Now I'm going to save model. Let's see, don't export UV coordinates. Yeah, we don't want any of that checked. All right. UV CAR. And I'm going to attack another UV on there again. Keep track of this through the system. Now I'm going to highlight this part right here, and we're going to go to File, Export UVs. We're going to browse to the base model location, and the base model location we're going to call eyebolt only OBJ. Open. And we're going to save under this name. And now we're going to close this out because that concludes this portion of the tutorial.